What's up? It's Marie. This is my face. So I kind of have this problem in my apartment. That problem is called Silverfish. Fucking Silverfish. And I don't mean those cute ones from Minecraft. I mean the real life ones. They're in my apartment. And I would just like to say that it's not my fault. I've had infestations in the past and they were my fault. But this time it wasn't. At the beginning I was kind of hating it. I still do. Over time, I kind of got used to them. Kind of got used to the fucking menaces invading my life. I thought, okay, fine. If they want to live here, they should have a nice place to stay. How about I build a house? It's not a good idea. At first I thought, okay, I'm gonna make an Animal Crossing villager house. But then I kept seeing pictures of the Nooks and Crannies store. Did I say Nooks and Crannies? But then I kept seeing pictures of Nook's Cranny and I kind of like the idea of making that. I got this super cheap air dry clay, the good stuff. It's not the good stuff. I'm gonna make Nook's Cranny out of it and then my silverfish are gonna live in it. We're all gonna be happy. Let's get to it. So I got a picture of Nook's Cranny here and also my Switch so I can look at it up close. And first up I'm gonna make a plan, so I'm gonna measure every single thing from this photo and kinda just sketch it out so I can have a rough idea of what to do, because I had no idea how to get started. I've never done this before. So here's my wonderful plan with all the measurements and shit. And there's the wonderful air dry clay. It's so shitty, but it looks delicious. It looks kinda like some sort of cream cheese something. But don't eat it, I don't think it's good for you. So I'm gonna cut out the parts, starting with the front, kinda roughly just cutting out the shapes. And I know it's gonna be rough because air dry clay is never completely clean. It always has these jagged edges, and that's okay, because I'm gonna sand it all off later anyway. So I'm doing the sides, the roof, front and the back, the little sign on top, all these little things, and I think I planned it out really well. I mean, look at that. It looks like I got all the pieces, right? So I'm gonna sand them off once they dried, which took a few days or so. And they already look so much better and so much more smooth after sanding them off. Love it. So I tried to be careful, but the front bit broke in the middle, so I'm gluing it back on, and later on it's gonna break again. It's a mess. I made this little sheet of clear resin that I'm gonna use for the windows. It's not gonna work out as well as I hope, but hey, that's okay. So I'm gluing on the window on the inside basically, so it's gonna look good from the outside. And I'm kinda liking the look of this. It looks pretty good already. And then I'm cutting out some more details. Here I'm cutting out the beams in the windows. I think the side windows don't even have these. I don't know, I feel like, could it be that the windows look different depending on the time of the day that you're playing? I don't know. So the pieces that I cut off here are the little roof thingies in front of the front windows. And I'm using the spider cookie cutter that I have to kind of cut out these round bits. I only got that cookie cutter for Spider-Man themed cookies, but yeah, anyway. And I'm kind of cutting out all the tiny pieces that I have to put together in the end. It gets pretty confusing because I make so many small pieces. Watching it back now, I don't even remember what they're all for. And this here is the little black board next to the door that I'm cutting out. And for this one, I'm not really measuring it. I'm just freestyling it because, you know, all the small details, it would be way too much measuring. I don't have that much time. That's a lie. I have a lot of time, but I don't want to do it. So here I realized that I forgot to cut out the steps in the front. So I'm kind of cutting it out now, more like breaking it off, as you can see. It didn't work that well. So yeah, maybe plan your projects better than I did because I had no idea what I was doing. Fun stuff. So I got some more clay and I'm cutting out some more parts. What the fuck am I cutting out now? Let me guess. It's, what is this? What am I cutting out now? Yeah, I'm cutting out a lot of pieces. Oh, I'm cutting out the windows, like on the inside, the window, the stuff in the window, you know. So what happened was that I made so many pieces that when they all dried, I forgot which piece was meant for what. So I kind of freestyled it in the end, trying my best to match them all, but here you can see it was a lot of pieces. So much stuff, man. And so I'm gonna get started with the windows. Because obviously before I glue all the other stuff together, I gotta make sure that the windows on the inside are attached. So here are the sides of the window, and I'm gonna paint them in green because they are green. That's a good reason. And I'm mixing up green with different acrylic paints. Oh, also I quickly had to take a break because I saw a present and I'm not getting it. Not getting it. Trying my best. It's a toaster. Awesome. So I'm painting a few coats of green and they're looking pretty good. And then I'm using my rotary tool with an engraving bit to kind of put some texture on all the different little parts. So next up, I'm mixing up a kind of beige color for the little baskets and some other details for the things that are in the windows. And then I'm putting on a matte top coat just to make it look nice. And I'm starting to kind of glue together the pieces of the little baskets and the wallpaper rolls and the little seed packages, seed packs, the flower seeds. You know, I'm kind of gluing it all together. And I'm kind of liking the way this looks. You know, all these little pieces. It didn't really fit that well in the end, because like I said earlier, with the small pieces, I kind of freestyled it. I'm just, this is not something I'm good at, okay? But I'm painting it with different shades of brown, mixing it into darker shades as I go along, so I can add some more dimension and some shading, all that good stuff. Look at that, look so cute. Adding some details to the wallpaper rolls. And the seed packages, the things, you know. And look at those small pieces. Aren't they adorable? This is, when I was doing that, I was still having fun. A little bit of fun. It was decreasing by the minute, because this was a lot more work than I thought it would be, even though obviously it's going to be a lot of work. There's so many details. But this, I enjoyed these little things. They're just cute. Even though I hate crafting small things. Just my fingers are big and things are small and I hate it. But look at these. They turned out so adorable. Too bad you can't really see them well later on. Ha! Foreshadowing. So then for the little plant in the tiny pot on the tiny table, I'm cutting off a piece of wire to stick in there because that's easy. And then I'm cutting out the little butterflies that are hanging in the windows out of a bit of paper. And I'm also cutting out the palm leaves of the little plant. And then painting them green so they look like plants. And I cut off these wires so I can hang the butterflies on them, and I try to paint them white because they're white in the pictures. So I'm poking little holes in the butterfly, sticking the wire through it, gluing on the plant. Love that I'm doing all of this out of order. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. Oh, and now I'm doing that. And now I'm engraving more stuff, and now I'm cleaning the windows and putting on the top coat so it looks shiny and clear. It's just, I didn't really have an order to do things. Again, organization is key. Now I'm gluing together the box. What happened to the windows? I don't know, man. I don't know. And these, what are the things called? The little roof thingies over the windows. I don't know what they're called in English. But I'm gluing everything together, adding the details, And now I'm starting to glue on the sides. And now I'm not doing that anymore. I decided to fill some of the gaps with some more really soft clay to kind of make it look seamless. And now I'm back to the windows. What is this? This is a mess. So I'm gluing all the little parts on there. What I realized, which you don't see because I'm already doing something else, is that the things don't really fit into the windows well, and I had to sand off some of that later. And then the sanding dust kind of went into this window stuff and it looked messy. You'll see that later. It's not great. But yeah, I'm gluing it all on. As you can see, it doesn't fit. But that's not my problem. It kind of is. This is what I'm doing. Oh well, it's in the past now. And yeah, I colored a little bit of clay with the paint. That didn't work really well. I don't recommend it. So I can fill the gaps so, you know, it doesn't look like part of it is missing. And yeah, this is where I sanded off the things, and now I got all the sawdust in the windows. But I'm starting to glue it all onto the base, gluing on the sides and the roof pieces, and filling that again with more clay. And hey, the base is starting to look good. Putting in the steps. Now I didn't know how to glue on the steps, so I put some tape on the bottom of it. Really creative. So professional. And then I'm gluing on the window pieces and the sign on the roof and the little box, some more roof window pieces, and the door frame and the doors. Gluing it all on. Wowza! So interesting. And this is how it's looking. Kind of cute. So I can start painting. I mean, I already painted, but I can start painting more. Yeah, this is the fun part. So I'm painting the roof in this blue shade, and as you can see by the amount of blue paint that I got, it took me a while to get the right shade. And I used some lighter blue for the little beams in the roof because I didn't want to craft them. I just painted them on. And then I painted the house in this beige color. And the more color I'm adding, the better it's looking. It's just... color just adds something. It's nice. And the remaining beige color is getting mixed into this orange color for the box and some other details. I painted the window roof things orange, but I'm not really happy with that color. I'm gonna change it more later, but you'll see that. And I'm coloring. So as I'm editing this, I'm like, what the fuck? This isn't the right color for the base? But then look at it, it's different. I didn't even film everything. This is just a mess. This whole project's bullshit. That's what it is. I'm painting more and more. And like I said, painting is the fun part. But after a while, especially when I had to paint all these little details, I just kind of got fed up with it. I'm not that patient. So here I'm painting on the sign. And so for this part, you know, painting on the little logo and the font on the sign, I really thought it would turn out worse. I kind of drew the font on with a pencil so I could have a bit of a reference, and then I filled it in with the paint, and it worked pretty well. I hate working with brushes, so I expected it to look worse, but it's okay. It's okay. So still coloring, starting to work more on the little details, like the little blackboard. And the steps. And it's starting to come together. It's still not looking awesome. I'm still not loving it. But I think for my first time doing something like this, it ain't so bad, right? It's okay. It's okay. Silverfish better love it, because I don't. But this is something you can see a lot, that I'm just painting something in a certain color and then a few seconds later I'm changing it to a different color, because I mix colors and then I realize, hey, I don't like these colors. And then, yeah, that's how it is, right? I really put a lot of effort into these little details, like the post-it notes. I could have actually just stuck some pieces of paper on there, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to. So I painted them on, and I really tried hard to make it look good. Now, the window and the roof is kind of the worst part. You can see that I didn't even really try. It looks like a mess. But that's okay. The rest is pretty good. I can live with it. So these tiny details like the watering can or the bucket on the right, I painted them first and then I glued them on later. I also faked the shadow of the box by just painting it on. It's so sneaky. So here are the little details. I cut out some more flowers and glued them into the watering can, which I didn't film. I also used a piece of wire for the broom, I guess, that's in the bucket on the right, and glued it on there. And then I'm kind of going over it with colored pencil to add some dimension and shading because I didn't want to paint anymore. I was done with that. You can see my hair in the frame. That happens a lot during this because I had to lean in real close to see everything because I'm old and I can't see shit. I also did the thing over the doors. I don't remember what it's called, you know, with the triangle party decoration shit. I also cut that out and used some wire and just glued it on there. And then I was like, hey, I still have these lights, these pretty colorful lights. What if I drilled a hole in there and stuck the lights in there? So I did that. Thought, you know, since I'm using this transparent resin as the windows, I could just use some light, right? I actually don't know if I like it or not. It looks fun, I guess. And then I decided I didn't like that orange, so I painted it yellow. And I put some matte top coat on. And yeah, this is basically all that's happening. At that point I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I don't want to add more details. I just want to finish this and go to bed. So here's the finished Nook's Cranny for my silverfish. I hope they like living in there. If they don't, well, it's not my problem. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I didn't. So, this is the finished product. It kind of sucks. It doesn't look good. I don't like it. I mean, it's a mess. It's a bit of a mess. The windows are kind of messed up. This up here is just a mess. But I mean, for my first time building something like this, I guess it's not too bad. And also, I mean, lights. Okay, the light effect it's a little underwhelming when it's the day. But yeah, this is the Silverfish's new home. Actually, so you know how in the beginning I was like, yeah, I'm gonna build a nice house for the silverfish to live in because we're gonna be friends now. Yeah, no, I actually lied. I actually planned to make it so that I could put a silverfish trap in there. So they would be like, wow, it's a house for us. And then they'd go in and die. But I didn't really think about this a lot. So there's no way to put a trap in there. It's like, it's all closed up and you can't really fit anything in there. So yeah, good job me, I guess. Guess we're gonna be friends after all. Yay. I hope you enjoyed because I mostly didn't, but some of it was okay. So yeah, have a good day. Bye. The windows I kind of messed up because I drilled. No, I wasn't drilling. Because I was sanding the sides off. I also got Sharky Boy. His name is... Okay. There's the bee. There's the bee. There's the tiny creeper. Silverfish are kind of nasty, you know, with their weird... You know how their tail thingies, they're like this like cross thing? It's gross. I don't know. And their antenna thingies. And they're so fast. I look so good today. I look good every day. Jacket? No, I really have nothing better to do. Also, this plant is dead. Yes, Jackass. Shark Boy's name here is Jackass. Okay, bye.